Join us as we break down the walls of Fox River State Penitentiary in our thrilling review of Prison Break Season 1. Find out how a genius engineer tattoos the ultimate escape plan on his body to save his brother from death row, in a series where every episode feels like the final countdown. Are you ready to dive into the heart of the escape that changed television forever? Prison Break is a gripping American television series that premiered in 2005 and left an indelible mark on the landscape of TV dramas with its innovative storyline, complex characters, and intense suspense. Created by Paul Shearing, the show was initially aired on Fox and quickly gained a dedicated following thanks to its unique blend of action, drama, and mystery. Season 1 of Prison Break sets a high bar, unfolding a narrative that is both ambitious and meticulously crafted. This episode delves into the intricacies of the show's first season, examining its narrative structure, character development, thematic depth, and overall impact on the audience. The premise of Prison Break Season 1 is a compelling and intricate narrative foundation that sets the stage for a story of desperation, ingenuity, and the unbreakable bonds of family. At its core, the series revolves around Michael Schofield's elaborate plan to break his brother Lincoln Burrows out of Fox River State Penitentiary, where Lincoln awaits execution for a crime he did not commit. This premise is not just a setup for prison escape drama, it's a launching pad for exploring themes of justice, sacrifice, and the lengths to which one will go for the people they love. The ingenuity of Prison Break lies in its ability to take a familiar genre, the prison drama, and inject it with a fresh and innovative twist. The idea of a prison break is not new, but the methodical planning, the use of Michael's body as a living blueprint, and the intricate layers of conspiracy and corruption surrounding Lincoln's conviction elevate the narrative beyond a simple escape story. Michael Schofield's character, a structural engineer, with the blueprints of the prison tattooed on his body, introduces viewers to a protagonist who is not just fighting with brutal force, but with intellect and foresight. This unique approach to the prison break genre captivates the audience, drawing them into a world where every detail matters and the stakes are life and death. The premise also serves as a critique of the justice system, weaving a tale of corruption, political manipulation, the fallibility of legal institutions. Lincoln's wrongful conviction is the catalyst for the story, but as the narrative unfolds, it becomes clear that his case is just the tip of the iceberg. The series exposes the darker underbelly of society where power and money can twist the scales of justice, leaving the innocent to pay the price. This critical examination of the justice system resonates with viewers, adding depth to the narrative and encouraging audiences to question the integrity of institutions meant to protect them. At its heart, Prison Break is a story about family and the lengths one will go to protect their loved ones. The relationship between Michael and Lincoln is the emotional core of the series, driving the action and shaping the narrative. This focus on family extends beyond the brothers, touching on the lives of other characters within the story. From the bonds formed between inmates to the families left on the outside, the theme of sacrifice is pervasive, with characters repeatedly putting themselves, in harm's way for the sake of others. This exploration of familial bonds and sacrifice adds an emotional layer to the series, making it more than just a suspenseful drama. The premise of Prison Break Season 1 is a masterful blend of action, emotion, and social commentary. It sets up a narrative that is both thrilling and thought-provoking, engaging viewers with its clever plot twists and deep character studies. The series challenges audiences to think critically about the concepts of justice, freedom, and loyalty, making a standout addition to the television landscape. The premise is the foundation upon which the rest of the series builds, creating a world that is rich in detail, complex in its morality, and unforgettable in its impact. The narrative structure and pacing of Prison Break Season 1 are essential to its success, showcasing a masterclass in storytelling that is both intricate and captivating. The series unfolds like a well-constructed puzzle, where each piece is essential and every episode adds another layer of complexity to the overarching plot. This section of our episode, we're going to dive deeper into the narrative structure and pacing of the season, highlighting how these elements contribute to the show's gripping nature. From the outset, Prison Break establishes a clear objective: Michael Schofield's plan to save his brother Lincoln Burrows from wrongful execution. This premise serves as the backbone of the season, around which various subplots and character arcs are skillfully woven. The narrative is carefully planned, with Michael's meticulously crafted escape plan mirrored in the show's own structure. Each episode reveals a part of Michael's plan, keeping the audience engaged and on edge, anticipating the next move. The pacing of the season is exemplary, demonstrating an acute awareness of how to maintain tension while advancing the story. The show balances slower, more introspective moments that delve into the characters' psyches with fast-paced, action-driven sequences that propel the narrative forward. This dynamic pacing ensures that the series never feels stagnant. Instead, it continually builds momentum towards a climatic escape. The creators adeptly manage the series of rhythm using cliffhangers at the end of episodes to keep viewers hooked. These moments are not merely for shock value, but are carefully placed to advance the narrative and deepen the mystery. Prison Break also excels in how it handles exposition and backstory. Instead of relying on heavy-handed or disruptive flashbacks, the series integrates characters' histories and motivations into the current storyline seamlessly. This approach not only enriches the character, making them more relatable and complex, but also maintains the narrative's flow, ensuring that the backstory enhances rather than interrupts the pacing. Furthermore, the show's narrative structure is notable for its use of multiple viewpoints. By shifting focus among a diverse cast of characters, Prison Break offers a multifaceted perspective on the unfolding events. This technique allows for a more nuanced exploration of themes such as loyalty, sacrifice, and redemption. It also serves to heighten suspense as the audience is privy to information from various sources, sometimes knowing more than the characters themselves. This omnipresent perspective keeps viewers engaged as they can see the convergence of different plotlines and anticipate the interactions and conflicts that will arise. Character-driven episodes are another hallmark of the season's narrative structure. By dedicating entire episodes to exploring a single character's backstory or a specific storyline, Prison Break ensures that each character's motivations and actions are fully understood. This not only deepens the emotional impact of the series, but also adds layers to the narrative, making the story richer and more compelling. And now we're going to dive into some of the character development. The character development of Prison Break Season 1 is a standout element that distinguishes the series within the crowded landscape of television dramas. Through a combination of intricate backstories, complex motivations, and dynamic interpersonal relationships, the show crafts a cast of characters who are not only integral to the narrative, but also deeply human and relatable. We're going to explore how character development is handled in the series, showcasing the depth and complexity of its key figures. So, to start off, we have Michael Scofield. He's portrayed with intensity and nuance by Wentworth Miller, and the driving force behind the narrative. His character is introduced as a brilliant structural engineer who turns himself into a criminal to save his brother. This drastic action sets the stage for his complex character arc, which is defined by his intelligence, resourcefulness, and unwavering loyalty. Michael's tattoos, which serve as the blueprint for the escape plan, are symbolic of his commitment and the lengths he is willing to go for his brother. As the season progresses, we see layers of Michael's character unfold: his vulnerability, his moral dilemmas, and his capacity for leadership. His interactions with other inmates reveal a man who's not only strategic, but also compassionate, willing to risk everything, not just for Lincoln, but for those he comes to care about within the prison walls. Then, Lincoln Burrows. Lincoln Burrows, played by Dominic Purcell, is the emotional heart of the series. Wrongfully accused and facing death row, Lincoln's predicament is the catalyst for the entire plot. His character development explores themes of redemption, resilience, and the struggle to maintain hope in the face of despair. Lincoln is more than just a victim of circumstance. He's a flawed but fundamentally good man, fighting not only for his freedom, but also to reunite with his son LJ. His relationship with Michael is central to his character arc, highlighting his own sacrifices and the guilt he feels for the position his brother has put himself in. The supporting characters in Prison Break are crucial to its narrative richness and emotional depth. Characters like Sucre, John Abruzzi, Theodore Bagwell represent a spectrum of human behavior, from loyalty and honor to betrayal and malevolence. Sucre's friendship with Michael illustrates themes of loyalty and trust, while Abruzzi's journey touches on redemption and the quest for power. Teabag, one of the most complex characters in the series, embodies the capacity for both charm and cruelty, challenging viewers' perceptions of morality and redemption. Veronica Donovan, Lincoln's ex-girlfriend and a lawyer, represents the fight for justice outside the prison walls. Her determination to uncover the truth about Lincoln's case and her involving relationship with the conspiracy at the heart of the series adds layers of intrigue and depth to the narrative. Veronica's character development is marked by her transition from skepticism to active involvement, highlighting her resilience and commitment to uncovering corruption. The dynamic between characters is another aspect where Prison Break excels in character development. Relationship among the inmates, fraught with alliances and betrayals, reflect the complexities of human nature and survival. The bonds formed in the face of adversity, such as the unlikely partnership between Michael and his fellow escapees, showcase the series' ability to explore the nuances of friendship, loyalty, and the human capacity for change. Prison Break Season 1 is rich in themes and motifs that weaves around its narrative, giving depth and meaning to the high-stakes drama of Michael Scofield's quest to free his brother Lincoln Burrows. These themes not only enhance the storytelling, but also provoke thought on broader societal issues and the human condition. So we're going to explore the key themes and motifs that underscore Season 1. The most overt theme in Prison Break as a whole is the dichotomy between freedom and incarceration. This theme is not limited to the physical confines of Fox River State Penitentiary, but extends to the metaphorical prisons of the characters' lives. For many characters, external freedom is juxtaposed with internal battles that cage their minds and spirits, such as guilt, fear, and a search for redemption. The series challenges viewers to consider the true meaning of freedom. Is it merely the absence of physical restraint, or is it something deeper tied to the soul's liberation from past sins and societal judgments? At the heart of Prison Break is a critical examination of the justice system, highlighting those in power. Lincoln Burrows' wrongful accusation and the subsequent fight to prove his innocence serve as a poignant commentary on the fallibility of the justice system and the ease with which it can be corrupted. This theme resonates deeply in a societal context, prompting viewers to reflect on the integrity of legal institutions and the concepts of justice in an imperfect world. Sacrifice is a recurring motif throughout the season, embodied most clearly in Michael's willingness to sacrifice his freedom, potentially his life, for his brother's exoneration. This theme extends beyond the brothers, touching on the sacrifices made by other characters, such as Veronica Donovan's relentless pursuit of the truth at great personal risk, and the decisions made by inmates and outsiders alike that reflect the complex interplay between self-interest and the greater good. The theme of sacrifice explores the lengths to which individuals will go for love, loyalty, and justice, highlighting the profound impact on these choices on their lives and the lives of those around them. And of course, brotherhood and loyalty. The bond between Michael and Lincoln exemplifies the theme of brotherhood, which is a driving force of the narrative. However, the concept of brotherhood extends beyond their familial relationship to the alliances formed within the prison walls. These relationships, built on trust and mutual reliance, challenge the notion of loyalty and test the strength of bonds forged under pressure. The series explores how adversity can bring out both the best and worst in people, and how the line between friend and foe can blur in the pursuit of a common goal. In weaving these themes and motifs throughout its narrative, Prison Break Season 1 crafts a story that is not only thrilling and suspenseful, but also deeply reflective of societal issues and the complexities of human nature. The series encourages viewers to ponder profound questions about freedom, justice, sacrifice, loyalty, and the moral choices that define us, making it a compelling and thought-provoking drama. The cinematography and production design of Prison Break Season 1 plays a pivotal role in establishing the series' intense atmosphere, character depth, and thematic richness. These elements work in tandem to immerse the audience in the high-stakes world of Fox River State Penitentiary, effectively complementing the narrative's tension and emotional resonance. Now we're going to dive into the intricacies of the cinematography and production design, highlighting how they enhance the storytelling and thematic exploration of Season 1. The cinematography in Prison Break is characterized by its dynamic and often claustrophobic framing, which mirrors the physical and psychological entrapment of the characters. Camera work is deliberate, using tight shots to convey the oppressive environment of the prison and the intensity of the inmates' experiences. This technique not only heightens the sense of confinement, but also draws the audience close to the characters, creating a more intimate viewing experience. The use of shadows and lighting plays a significant role in setting the tone of the series. Harsh, stark lighting within the prison contrasts with softer, more natural lighting in scenes set outside, emphasizing the dichotomy between freedom and incarceration. The interplay of light and shadow is also used to great effect in creating mood and foreshadowing, often hinting at the darker themes lurking beneath the surface of the narrative. The production design of Prison Break Season 1 is another critical component of the show's visual storytelling. The design of Fox River State Penitentiary itself is meticulously crafted, with attention to detail that lends authenticity to the setting. Prison's architecture, with its imposing walls, barred cells, and confined spaces, is not just a backdrop for the action, it's integral to the plot and the psychological landscape of the season. The design elements within the prison, from the worn-down furnishings to the graffiti-covered walls, tells a story of despair, history, and the passage of time, contributing to the overarching themes of this series. Production design extends beyond the physical structure of the prison to include the intricate tattoos that cover Michael Schofield's body. These tattoos, which are central to the escape plan, are a masterpiece of production design in their own right. The level of detail and symbolism embedded in the tattoos exemplifies the show's commitment to visual storytelling, serving as a constant reminder of Michael's sacrifice and the complexity of the plan. The synergy between cinematography and production design amplifies the series' impact. The production design establishes a believable and compelling world, while the cinematography brings this world to life, guiding the audience's emotional and psychological engagement with the characters and their journey. Together, they create an immersive experience that is visually arresting and thematically profound. The meticulous construction of the prison environment, combined with strategic camera angles and lighting, enhance the narrative's exploration of freedom, confinement, and the human spirit's resilience. This visual approach not only serves the story, but also elevates it, making Prison Break a standout example of how cinematography and production design can be harnessed to deepen the audience's connection to the story and its characters. The impact and legacy of Prison Break Season 1 extends far beyond its initial broadcast, cementing itself as a landmark in television drama. Upon its release in 2005, the series was met with critical acclaim and a passionate fan base, drawn to its unique blend of suspenseful storytelling, complex characters, and innovative narrative structure. Over the years, Prison Break has not only maintained its relevance, but has also influenced the landscape of television programming and storytelling techniques. Prison Break Season 1 captivated audiences with its gripping plot and the emotional depth of its characters, setting a new standard for serialized storytelling. The show's ability to blend action, drama, and mystery created a formula that was both refreshing and compelling. It resonated with viewers across the globe, showcasing the universal appeal of themes such as brotherhood, justice, and the fight against corruption. The series became a part of the cultural zeitgeist, inspiring discussions about the flaws in the justice system and the concept of moral ambiguity in the face of survival. Its success paved the way for a more expansive approach to television narratives, where complex plots and character development were given precedence. Prison Break has had a lasting influence on the television drama genre, particularly in how stories are structured and presented. The series was among the pioneers of using detailed, overarching plots that require viewer commitment throughout the season, a storytelling approach that has become more prevalent in the years since its release. The intricate plotting and the use of cliffhangers at the end of episodes influenced future TV dramas, encouraging creators to develop similarly compelling serialized content to keep audiences engaged week after week. Furthermore, the show's blend of character-driven storytelling high-stakes action and suspense demonstrated that dramas can successfully incorporate elements from multiple genres to create a richer narrative tapestry. The legacy of Prison Break Season 1 extends into pop culture with references to the series appearing in various media and the show's themes and characters continuing to be relevant. The iconic image of Michael Scofield's tattooed body, for example, has become a symbol of the series' ingenuity and the lengths to which individuals will go for their loved ones. The show's influence can be seen in the way it has inspired fan fiction, art, and discussions around the world, as well as in its presence on social media platforms, where fans continue to celebrate and analyze the series years after its premiere. And before we move on, let us know your thoughts on Season 1 of Prison Break in the comment section below. And now we're going to go into 10 things that made Prison Break's first season so special. Michael Scofield and Lincoln Burrows took us on an amazing season of Prison Break, but nothing can beat this season. First season in particularly received shining reviews pretty much universally, and we're going to try and uncover why that is. From the main characters to the intricacies of the storylines, there's a lot to love, so let's take a look. Starting off with Link's ticking time bomb. We all knew that Lincoln Burrows was something of a ticking time bomb in the first season, to the point where many of us just didn't know whether or not he was going to be able to avoid the chair. He was being sentenced for a murder that he didn't commit, and at times, there were a few points where it legitimately seemed like his number was up. It was tense television to watch at the best of times, and at the worst of time, we all legitimately felt very attached to the story. Number 2, the intimidating Abruzzi. We always had that sneaking suspicion that John Abruzzi was a bad guy, and by suspicion we mean factual evidence. Still, it was hard not to root for the guy. He was despicable at times and really weird at others, but the role was acted to perfection, and that always helps to make something come to life. Abruzzi had family values, and while that ultimately didn't matter, as his need for revenge caused him to perish later on, we always wanted to see what he'd do next. Number 3, the riot. Fans of the show could probably tell that a riot was just moments away from breaking out at quite literally any moment, and eventually that came to fruition, courtesy of Michael's desire to get his plot moving even further. There was a lot to love about the storyline and a lot to hate, too, with most of the things to hate being in relation to T-Bag, who really did come into his own in this episode. Still, looking back, it was a vital part of the show's core storyline narrative. Next up, Michael's planning. From going into the prison with blueprints tattooed onto his body all the way through to the final escape itself, it's nearly impossible not to love the way this guy went about his business. He did an awful lot for his brother, and we'd imagine Link could never repay him for that, but instead of looking through all the other episodes and seasons in order to figure out how it ended up, we'd much rather just enjoy basking the glory of what he was able to achieve in the first season itself. And of course, next up, the escape. The entire episode to round off the season where they wound up escaping was nothing short of remarkable. The drama was at a whole other level, and while some may argue was a bit unrealistic, we absolutely adored it. The pressure of not knowing whether escape would actually be pulled off was great, even though, again, you could argue it was obvious the entire time that they'd get out. Suspense is what makes great television more often than not. That was certainly the case here for Prison Break. Of course, now we have T-Bag's rise to prominence. Theodore T-Bag Bagwell was not a nice man, but the bizarre charm of his character ensured that we would continue to track his every move in the show with a great deal of intrigue. That might not have been the best idea in the eyes of the masses, but it wasn't really the point. Every truly good story needs a wonderful bad guy, and boy oh boy was he a wonderful bad guy. Everything he stood for was detestable, and whenever he was put into place, it was a great time to be alive. Next up, Bellick at his best. Brad Bellick became a shadow of himself as the series went on. During Season 1, you could make an argument that he was the main villain alongside the likes of T-Bag. He attempted to thwart Michael at every single turn, and more often than not, he actually succeeded. There were certainly times in which he looked like nothing more than a bumbling buffoon, but such is the nature and drama of TV. For a long time, the pinnacle of his powers came in the first set of episodes. Next up, revealing the company. The company served as the thorn in the side of Michael and Lincoln throughout the course of the entire show. And that's putting a little bit lightly in our humble opinion. For the first season, we didn't actually know all too much about them or what it was they wanted to try and do, which was why it was interesting to see revelations being made piece by piece. The thought that some people believe this sort of thing actually exists is also quite scary, and the idea of it is even freakier. And next up, prison life. There are some harsh realities that people need to face when it comes to life behind bars, and getting the chance to experience that reality was fascinating. We aren't trying to suggest that there hadn't been any other form of prison television drama for us to enjoy over the years, but there was something about Prison Break that felt incredibly raw. The experiences of all the characters made us yearn for more. The first season continued to throw up surprises, as well as a few out there storylines. And then we have, finally, Sarah and Michael. Michael went to the infirmary because he needed to be there, but then in his own words, it was because he wanted to be there. They've been through a series of trials and tribulations over the years, but the first season saw a really great relationship blossom between Sarah and Michael. We always knew it was going to be difficult for him upon realizing that Sarah was going to be in a lot of trouble for associating with him, but we allowed ourselves to get put through that emotional roller coaster. So, before we end our show, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, give us a thumbs up if you like our video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell notification button to be notified of future videos. And of course, if you like our content and want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. Your support helps the channel grow, upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, be able to pay them, and hopefully one day take this show on the road. As always, you can find our show on all major podcast platforms, including Good Pods, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. And as always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you.